Number 2, National Assembly Bills number 26 of the year 2024, a bill by the leader of the majority party, is equally lined up for consideration this afternoon. Remember, you can follow up on this live broadcast brought to you by KBC in partnership with PBU, courtesy of our YouTube channels, that is KBC Channel 1, as well as on Parliament of Kenya. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast as the Speaker of the National Assembly is in the chamber, ready to preside over the
Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
The quorum bell at the National Assembly is being rung for a few minutes as directed by the Speaker of the House to give members a few minutes to get into the chamber this afternoon. And as we await for a signal to ascertain if indeed the numbers have been attained, allow me to take you through the order paper this afternoon. The condolence messages are following the death of Malava Member of Parliament Malulu Jendi, who passed away yesterday at Aga Khan Hospital while receiving treatment. The late Honorable Jendi has been celebrated as a trailblazer in the fight for the education sector, as well as a passionate defender of reforms in the sugar sector, among others in the spheres of human interest. And as members of parliament and leaders across the nation continue sending their condolence messages to the family of Honorable Malulu Jendi, this afternoon the National Assembly is set to have its sittings, where the House is set to consider a number of businesses. Among them is the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate National Assembly Bills number 2 of the year 2025 by the leader of the majority party. The County Government's Additional Allocations Bill is a bill that is set to be introduced on the floor of the House for the first time this afternoon. And this bill is an act of Parliament that seeks to provide for the additional allocations to the county governments for the 2024-2025 financial year. and that is the responsibilities of the national government as well as the county governments person to such allocation for the connected purposes as indicated in the county government's additional allocation bill, a bill from the National Assembly, bill number 2 of the year 2025. After the reading of the county government's additional allocation bill, the House will then move to consider the Equalization Fund Administration Bill. This is Senate Bills number 14 of the year 2023 by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Matters Finance and National Planning. The bill is currently at the second stage or second reading, if you may like, and we expect members of the National Assembly this afternoon to give their contributions to the
migrated to Taveta region due to conflict in the Kilimanjaro region. That the expansion of long-distance trade in ivory and iron saw more Pare traders and skilled blacksmiths moving to Taveta, where they found welcoming environment in the 19th century. That the Pare people have been part of the social fabric of Taveta constituency since time immemorial, contributing significantly to the local and national economies. That in recent years, Kenya has made important strides in efforts to resolve statelessness by recognizing as citizens thousands of other previously stateless people, including those from Makonde and Shona communities and others of Indian descent. That therefore the recognition of Pare people would allow the community to be fully integrated into country's legal framework in consistency with national values and governance principles that prioritize inclusivity, equality, and diversity. That the efforts to have this matter addressed by relevant authorities have been futile, and that the matter presented in this petition is not pending before any court of law or any constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, to one, inquire into the matter with a view of securing urgent recognition of the Pare people of Kenya as a tribe of the Republic of Kenya. To make any other recommendations or actions it deems fit in addressing plight of the petitioners, and your petitioners will ever pray. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bwire. Yes, Honorable Mbaya.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to make some remarks and comments on the petition. First, to support the efforts of the Honorable Bwire, a young and very vibrant MP from Taveta, on the aspect of recognizing the Pare people as Kenyans. The Pare, Honorable Speaker, like the Makonde and the Wanyasa from Malawi and the Pemba, have been Kenyans. A lot of them, when they came during the construction of the railway and the sisal farms, found Kenya their home. Their great-grandfathers were here. Children have been born, and issues have come out of those relationships, those marriages of those Pemba, of those Pare. But today, the Pare have not been recognized, and we have communities like the Rundi who are here, okay, and the Rwandans who are here. They are Kenyans by birth, but they have not been recognized as Kenyans. The 12th Parliament, Honorable Speaker, did us very proud because through a parliamentary process, the Pemba were recognized. And I would like to request the committee, the Petitions Committee, to use this opportunity to bring honor to the 13th Parliament by ensuring that this community, the Pare people that live in Taveta and have lived there continuously, to ensure that they become Kenyans and they're recognized and given citizenship. So, Honorable Speaker, and the committee that will be assigned this petition, I will request them to hasten and as fast as possible ensure that the Pare are recognized as Kenyans. But, Honorable Speaker, I also wish to bring an amendment to the Citizenship Act so that those other communities become very automatic. They don't have to be struggled to be Kenyans, and yet they have continued to be Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, as you assign the committee, please give them the assignment that they hasten so that the Pare who are here in this country become Kenyans. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I'll commit the petition to the Committee on Public Petitions to report back in 60 days. And Owen Bayer, as a leader in the House, you should, with your colleagues, find a framework of getting people like the Pare. If we recognize our compatriots, the Indian community, as a tribe in Kenya, I don't see why we shouldn't recognize the Pare and any other communities of African descent that are here, so that we can be able to avoid the statelessness of people in this country. At least we have done very well with the Pemba, with the Makonde, with the Nubians, with the Indians. So the progress is good, but you can, on your own motion, also engage this kind of thing.
Brought amendments to the Citizenship Act,
Yes.
which is, I think, before you, but before the Committee of Security, so that we can have a framework to ensure that all those Kenyans that are here can be recognized as Kenyans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Then, next. Okay. Next,
Order number 5, papers.
majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. These very important papers, Honorable Speaker, because they're part of the budget cycle. 1, supplementary estimates 2 for the year 2024-2025 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning, and the following accompanying documents: program-based budget, B, recurrent estimates, C, development estimates, volume 1, 2, and 3, and D, memorandum on supplementary estimates number 2. So we lay the supplementary estimate 2 for the financial year 2024-2025, Honorable Speaker. 2, draft Public Finance Management Teachers Service Commission Staff Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Regulations 2024 from the Teachers Service Commission. And 3, submission of nominees for the following National Government Constituencies Development Fund committees: 1, Bonchari; 2, Bondo; 3, Dagoretti South; 4, Eldama Ravine; 5, Embakasi East; 6, Endebeth; 7, Gilgil; 8, Igembe South; 9, Kabondo Kasipul; 10, Kajiado Central; 11, Kajiado West; 12, Kasipul; 13, Kiamba; 14, Kibra; 15, Kiharu; 16, Kipkelion East; 17, Kitui Rural; 18, Kuresoi North; 19, Laikipia West; 20, Lamu East; 21, Lamu West; 22nd, 22, Magarini; 23rd, Makadara; 24, Mandera East; 25, Mandera North; 26, Masinga; 27, Mathioya; 28, Matuga; 29, Mwingi Central; 30, Nambale; 31, Daragwa; 32, Rarieda; 33, Roysambo; 34, Samburu West; 35, Sigor; 36, South Imenti; 37, Sarehe; and 38, Teso South. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Agriculture.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 18th of February, 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on its consideration of the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Service Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022.
Thank you, Yegon. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Benja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 18 February 2025. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration of 1, the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2024, and the Public Finance Management Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2024. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Jerry Maina.
Apologies, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, thank you. I rise to request for statement regarding the delay in disbursement of the Higher Education Loans Board funds. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the ongoing funding crisis affecting students in institutions of higher learning across the country. Honorable Speaker, on 20th December 2024, the High Court of Kenya, in Kenya Human Rights Commission and 3 others versus the AG and 4 others, 2024, declared the new higher education funding model unconstitutional and issued an order of prohibition which barred implementation of the model until the government complies with the Constitution and the necessary legal requirements. Thereafter, the Ministry of Education undertook to introduce a new tertiary institution funding model to address the matter. This is expected to be implemented later in the year. Despite the government undertaking to revert to the old higher Education Loans Board HELB model, there has been an apparent lack of commitment to timely disbursement of funds to students. This contravenes the provisions of Article 43(1) of the Constitution, which guarantee the right of every person to education. At present, thousands of students continuing with their studies face financial distress as they are unable to pay tuition fees, which has left them locked out of examinations. This has triggered unrest in universities across the country, with students staging protests and, in other cases, lecturers boycotting examinations. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, the total amount of funds disbursed by the National Treasury under the Higher Education Loans Board HELB model, including specific dates of these disbursements. 2, the total number of students who have benefited from the disbursed funds since November 2024, and the measures put in place to ensure timely disbursements of funds to prevent future disruptions in learning. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Melly, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks is very far. The information that the honourable member is asking is very urgent, very important.
Well done.
For the nation.
Wednesday next week.
So I want to bring it, I think Tuesday next week.
Tuesday,
yes.
you'll be ready?
I'll be ready with it.
Tuesday, 2:30.
Yes, thank you.
Mashua Waithaka, all chairpersons should be like that. Mashua Waithaka. Give the mic to Mashua.
Yes. Thank you, Chair, Speaker. Request for statement regarding land parcels erroneously listed by the National Land Commission. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding an erroneous classification of 2 parcels of land belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege as illegal alienated government land. Honorable Speaker, on the 17th July 2017, the National Land Commission, NLC, with the Kenya Gazette, volume CX-1X, number 97, listed several parcels of land as illegal alienated government land and ordered that their titles be revoked. Among them were 2 parcels of land in Kiambu County, land with house block 2/80 and land with house block 2/81, belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege of ID number 0551205, which he legally acquired in 2006 and 2007 respectively. Since then, he has consistently remitted required land rates to Kiambu County government without any dispute or challenge over the legitimacy of his ownership, which evidences rightfully ownership. The arbitrary revocation of his title deeds by NLC amounts to deprivation of property by the government, which violates the provisions of Article 40 of the Constitution. Despite numerous appeals to the National Land Commission to rectify this error, no corrective action has been taken. The situation raises concerns regarding fairness and reliability of land administration process in the country. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. The reasons for the cancellation of title deeds number block 2/80 and block 2/81 in Kiambu County belonging to Mr. Stephen Shege via Gazette Notice number 6864 of 17 July 2017, despite his lawful acquisition and payment of land rates to the government. 2, report on the status of revocation of the erroneous Gazette Notice to restore the land ownership rights to Mr. Stephen Shege. And 3, the specific implementation timelines when the National Land Commission will resolve the error, including reassurance of valid title deeds to Mr. Stephen Shege. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Nyamoko. How much time do you need to bring a response? Give him the mic.
2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks, so that. Joseph Gitari. Honorable Joseph Gitari, Kirinyaga Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I like to request a statement regarding the management of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Trade and Industry and Cooperative regarding the management of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited. Honorable Speaker, Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Society (SACCO) Limited was established in the year 2001 with the objective of empowering women to actively engage in economic decision-making. Initially rooted in Embu and Kirinyaga counties, the SACCO has grown to include thousands of members from across the country and boost a substantial capital base. However, in the recent past, concerns have emerged among members regarding the operation of the SACCO, especially following the unfortunate passing on by the coordinator, Mrs. Christine Gary. Since our demise, there has been a breakdown of communication from the new management, despite repeated requests from members for updates on the governance and financial status of the SACCO. This has caused anxiety among members, particularly noting that prevalence in financial management reported in various cooperative societies in the country. Honorable Speaker, it is...
Order, Honorable Dena, can you walk back to where you've come from? You have been here for now 2.5 years. You know what to do. Honorable Bensouda, can you induct him on what to do? Go on, Gitari.
Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperative on the following. 1, the current status of Kisho Rawanawake Savings and Credit Society Limited, including financial and registration status, with the Circle Society Regulatory Authority, SASLA. Number 2, measures that the Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, MSMEs, development has put in place to ensure that the Circle complies with the established regulation, particularly in financial reporting and holding of regular meetings. Number 3, Speaker, the steps taken by the Ministry to enhance governance and oversight of the cooperative in the country to protect the member savings. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gitare. Chair, Trade, Gakuya, Vice Chair. How much time do you require?
2 weeks.
2 weeks it
Thank
is. Thank you. Go back to order number 2.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, before I make some short communication, allow me to acknowledge the presence of a delegation of 5 staff from the Office of the Leader of Opposition of the Parliament of Uganda, sitting in the Speaker's gallery to observe the House proceedings. The delegation is on a benchmarking visit at the National Assembly to foster knowledge exchange and share parliamentary experience with our staff in the National Assembly. On my own behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome the delegation to the National Assembly and wish them well during their visit. In the public gallery, honorable members, I acknowledge the presence of the following institutions: Pan-African Christian University from Roysambu, Nairobi, Mathwata Secondary School from Masinga, Machakos, Kiambere School Complex from Bere North, Embu, St. Clair Girls High School, Gatitu from Gatundu South, Kiambu, Gilgil Day Secondary School, Gilgil, Nakuru. On behalf of all of us, Mother Wangari has asked me to acknowledge a school from her constituency, do so for all the rest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I must say that this session is very encouraging to find that our schools are back in full force. We are able to host very many students in the galleries so that they can be able to observe the proceedings of this House. It also helps us to actually realize that we are pace setters and we have to actually be good examples for the youngsters that we host here.